Hi, Jeremy.
And when you stir it,
Hi.
sometimes it's kind of straight.
Hello.
How you doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
Doing well, thanks.
Sorry,
Working
this is the only place I have power, and my computer won't die on me right away.
All right, fair enough. You're fine. I'm not hearing background noise or anything. So.
All righty. I'm opening up Maya right now. So currently I'm having some issues with some UVs and separating out some objects so I can break up and lay out the textures properly.
Okay. What kind of, are you getting like artifacts or?
It's more like the only way how I got them to fit properly is if I expanded them super abnormally, and I'll show you what I mean. But I overstretched them, and I know I overstretched it, but it actually looks the way how I want it to, but it won't fit back on the original 1 inch by 1 inch square that it should, if that's making any sense.
I'm gonna have to see it because I'm unsure if you mean that you're like you reverted the object back to a different size, or if you're talking about like the way that it's mapped out in there, the size of that versus like, you know how there's like one square like with a 1-to-1, and then there's a bunch of squares you can add onto that. So yeah, is that what you mean, where like it fits over a bunch of squares but it doesn't fit within the 1-to-1?
Yeah, it doesn't fit within the 1-to-1. Okay,
Gotcha.
why Maya is not? Okay, that's dumb. Maya's not letting me open up my actual file. That's
Do you have the project set to that directory?
yeah, it's not even letting me select anything else. So I'm gonna try something else real quick. I'm gonna try opening it up directly from that as opposed to opening up Maya and then going that way.
Yeah, that could work. Did it give you like an error message?
No, it just wasn't, I couldn't select it. But all right, I got it up.
Cool. Oh, by the
Okay.
way, I noticed in the email you sent, you couldn't
Yes.
find the information about like how to contact the TA.
Yes.
Was that like what could make it more apparent how to do that? I had it in a couple of different places, but it sounds like it wasn't that obvious. So.
Okay. I think at least from an interactive standpoint, where you have your name and then the Zoom link for the time, like next to that calendar, if you put your information in below there, that way you go to the UGTA tab and then your information is right there. So the contact would be perfectly accessible. So I was digging around and I couldn't find it.
Okay. Yeah, okay, got you. That makes sense. I only had that information, the like actual contact email and like Slack and stuff. I only had that posted on the TA discussion board. So that's some good feedback. I'll make sure to add that in then.
Yeah, I know it's close to the end of semester, but I think that if you put that in there, I think that somebody else could reach you out for like off hours as well.
Yeah, no, that's really helpful. I'm gonna TA again next semester, so I'll be sure to do that from the get-go.
Okay, perfect. All right, so I got this up. I'm gonna share.
Cool.
Let's see where do I go to the share screen?
There's a green button at the bottom.
Yep, I got it. All right. Okay. So it's sharing. Okay, here we go. You see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so I have, let me go into this primarily. So this is the tile. So I have glass tile here.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the size and shape that I want it to look like. And then what I wanted to do is I wanted to separate this out. So this was going to be a different material. and I was going to do that as well, but I also wanted, so this was going to be the same material as this, as a stainless steel.
Okay.
I was thinking about removing these just so I could do some extra color with those. But then this is going to be a marble, and I was going to put wood here. So
Okay.
that's my
So,
plan. I was thinking about possibly adding black for this as like a crease.
yeah, I see
Like a
that.
crease in the marble. I think that would look more natural with this. But when I go into the where is it, UV shaders, UV editor, let me expand this out. The
So,
only way I got it to fit was to do this.
so I see what you're saying. I think you're actually gonna get a better effect and you'll have more control and you can like
Okay.
adjust scales a little bit more if you start selecting faces to tile rather than the entire object. So like instead of being
Okay.
an object mode, go to face mode, select one face and apply that texture.
So
See,
let's say I wanted to do this. So these ones right here.
yeah.
So those.
Uh-huh.
That would be all of these right here.
Yeah.
Okay. So then,
So I would reset your texture that you have, save off first, obviously, and
Yeah.
then reset the texture that you have, and then middle mouse drag that texture over from the material editor into the viewport with those spaces selected, and then it'll
Okay.
add that material to it.
okay. So if I add another material, so create material, create a blend, and then, sorry, the zoom thing's right in the way. Okay, there we go. And then go based off file. And then let's just say on this countertop, I don't care if that's spelled incorrectly, that's how I can see it.
That's spelled correctly.
Okay, and then I think I have it in source images to be put. Oops, that's the wrong one. It's in here. It keeps putting me back into the other one for some reason, but it's only when I go into the file directory.
Oh, I think that's a Mac thing.
I do think so as well. And I don't think it's because it's never happened with him, even if I do a set directory for this.
Yeah. So the Mac structure
Mhm.
doesn't always play well with Maya. So you can actually change that in settings if you want. I can show you that later.
Okay.
So what did you just put in marble?
Yeah. So I don't.
Going out.
I think it went on as a blend 7 as opposed instead of the. Yeah, blend 7 countertop. Okay. So take this and put this onto these, right?
Yeah. So you can just select them that way. That's perfect. So yeah, middle mouse, drag it on there. Oh.
Okay. So that works. But then how do I see? Because then I have that kind of issue right here. So I like that idea about like that kind of approach. But
so that's why I would recommend starting over with the UV editor because
Okay.
you don't want all of those, you don't want this layout where like it's all outside of the one-to-one. So
Okay.
if you're gonna apply these textures like individually, I would
Mhm.
save off and then I would delete those UVs and unwrap them separately. So that way
Okay.
you have more control over it and it's not all in one space.
Okay, so actually I would switch over to UV, and I already have this previously saved off. Edit,
Cool.
delete, right? And then go based off of face.
Yeah, so then that way you'll have more control over the textures you can apply too, because if you want different textures for all of this, then you can't just have it
Okay.
in one UV editor.
Okay, so
Because only one texture is going to show in the middle, right? So
yeah, Okay. And then I think this is, yeah, kitchen tile. So take this, put this here.
Yeah, I think you're missing a face though at the bottom on the left.
Down here.
On the outside of it, I saw like a dark face. Yeah, that one.
Oh, okay.
If you wanted to select that and add it to your. There you go.
All right, so I got those ones and then grab from here.
Uh-huh.
Oh wait, that's right. I
Yeah.
have to recreate UVs first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't hurt to like drag it on there anyway, just so you can kind of see what you're working with
Yeah.
and have it update dynamically, but yeah.
And then what I found at least worked best for me was do camera based.
Okay. I always started off, I think I started off with automatic. Sometimes
Okay,
not all results, but you could try whatever, you can mess around with different options too.
Yeah, automatic gives me that. I mean, I can reshape these, but that doesn't.
I work with whatever gives you the best result right away for sure.
Yeah.
That,
Right,
yeah, I
then,
think that works better.
why does that look so?
It looks like it's got the marble, but you applied kitchen, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's fed through specular or something. Try relarging. No, that's weird. Try relarging or enlarging. Sorry, your node space
Right
or
here?
higher. Yeah, it's important to see like what's feeding into what. Okay, so kitchen tile is that file. Where's the
Try to keep this
kitchen
as.
file? There's a lot of nodes here already, which is might be the issue because I only saw you add the one, so I'm not sure what all the other ones are. Like
So I had a bump
kitchen.
map, I had a specter. I had a lot of ones going into this one. Okay, so
You could also try pressing the 7 key because sometimes it doesn't refresh automatically. And toggle it back and forth. Yeah, okay. So
let me try this one more time. Let me create camera based.
it looks like these UVs are actually overlapping too.
Yeah,
Try
it looks like they're overlapping right now. Okay.
dragging some of them around in the UV editor and just making sure they all fit in the one-to-one. So like scale all of the big panels uniformly so they're all the same size and then
Okay.
fit them like a corner. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, that's weird how it gives me this rainbow effect.
Yeah, it is. It is really weird. I feel like the automatic would actually be okay. You just take the two big pieces. One of them was outside of it, but that's easy to fix. Yeah, take those two big pieces, put them next to each other, and then scale them at the same time so they're the same size.
Okay. Whoopsies. Okay.
And then when you're doing this, and then
yeah.
yeah, put those like try to line them up on the lines too, so that way you don't have like weird lines fitting. Like I noticed in the way you had it before, there were some lines that were like that that were kind of coming out on the side. So like there was a wall and then there was like a line off to the side. You want to try and like match the creases, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can probably keep those a little bigger, but for now that's good. And then just make sure you put everything else on there and try and keep it like, you know, smaller objects, smaller, bigger objects, bigger, but like the same objects scaled the same. And then when you're doing this unwrapping process, it can be really helpful to use like a checker pattern. So that way you can really see.
I had the other checker pattern, his the one that he created.
Yeah, that one's great.
But right now I'm not even seeing it go in here, even though I put it in here. Or is that just?
So go ahead and click those face, wait, okay, there we go. Yeah, let's see that. Kitchen tile, it's showing up there, but not in the viewport. So we don't have anything set to transparency or ambient. We have, we know we do have ambient. Maybe there's too much ambient. Can you turn that down a bit? It looks like it's adjusting the bottom and not the top.
It's
Can you
weird.
open the viewport a little bit more? So yeah, it looked like it was adjusting the bottom colors and not the top.
Yeah, that's weird.
Maybe try refreshing. Go from like 5 to 6 to 7. Just hit a few different keys and end up on 7. And the other day when I was, it's weird. It's a different color now. The other day when I was working in Maya, I was having some refresh problems with my textures, and it wasn't toggling on the switch until I reset Maya and reopened it. I don't know why it does that sometimes.
Okay.
That might help. I'm not sure, but I'd rather we be able to troubleshoot this without you having to close Maya. So
Yeah.
maybe try resetting the file itself.
Okay. So this file, redo the
link there, so you can go up to file 1. Is that what it is? There's a couple different files, so I'm not sure, but try and keep those in names so you can keep track of them too.
It's weird how. Okay, yeah, that was. It keeps sometimes it puts them all into here, when instead it shouldn't be in there.
Are you using 3D Paint?
No, I had another textures.
Oh wait, so your textures are actually in the other folder, or they're all?
No,
it just
sometimes it brings them back. It brings them back into there as opposed to in here.
Oh, that is weird. Okay, that one looks like a normal color map. That's good. All right. And then from the hierarchy, first go ahead and select the faces you had selected before. Make sure all those are selected in the viewport. And then back in the hierarchy, or you can actually just do those top ones for now. That way we can keep it simpler, because maybe it's an issue of
These two? Are these 4?
Yeah, actually that is what you had. Okay, cool. So then in the hierarchy, go to the file you had just placed, kitchen tile. On that main node, on the node that connects them all.
Okay, in here.
Go ahead and middle mouse drag that into the viewport onto the faces. No edges were merged, probably so. What? That was a weird command you just got.
Maybe I should, let's try reopening the previous one.
Yeah.
Scenes. What the?
Oh, soft select. That makes sense. Okay, press B. That is how we would get that. That makes sense. So whenever soft select is turned on, it creates a gradient to show you like what colors are having or what area has more influence when you're selecting than others. So if you have it turned on, which happens anytime you may accidentally press B, then
Okay.
it's gonna show a gradient. I've never had that happen to me while I'm working with textures though. So yeah, just make sure anytime you see that, just hit B again.
Okay, so I hit B and it's still,
Oh. Okay, well,
yeah.
that's really. This is what you have before?
Yeah, this is what I had before. I reverted it to the other one I had.
Yeah.
And then without pushing anything on my keyboard, I have never had this show up.
Okay, Maya, what are you doing?
I don't know.
Let me look this up real quick.
Definitely not helping me out at the moment. You are. I mean, this thing's not.
Oh, yeah, I got you. Are you using a ramp shader by chance?
I don't think so.
Okay. That's done with gradients, so I was just wondering. Oh, hang on, my dog wants out. Go ahead and reset, like close Maya.
All
And
right.
then we'll just reopen it. Because sometimes it can just get really buggy for no reason, and literally a reset will solve your problems. So it's worth trying that.
I thought that this was going to be like, oh, you just need to select these faces and do like what you were telling me originally. Like that made complete sense. It seemed like it was going to be an easy fix, and then soft select decided to get in the way.
At least I think it was soft select. Now I
Yeah.
don't know anymore. Turn it off. So yeah, I don't know. Sometimes things are really simple in Maya, and then other times Maya makes things really complex when they don't need to be. So yeah.
I think that's
But
a
it
lot
should.
of computers.
What? Sorry.
I said I think that that's a lot of computer stuff.
Oh yeah.
Make things difficult or really easy.
Yeah. But do you remember like when you did the UV project, the one with the cube, texturing the cube?
Yeah.
You remember how you did all those faces separate? They all had
Yes.
their own textures. It's like that. That's basically what I'm talking about
Yeah.
as well.
I was going to try and do that, but I didn't know how I should approach it with these layouts. If I should like how I should lay these out first and bring that into here.
I got you.
Okay,
It's
it's still doing the same thing.
really
Yeah.
okay. Try and hit the refresh key again.
That's 7, right?
Yeah. You might have to toggle back and forth from another view though.
It says that I push B and it says self-select mode is on, tap B to turn it off, although I tap B and it doesn't do anything.
Okay, well, don't tap B again after that. We're gonna leave self-select alone. And then, you wanna share your screen again?
Yeah.
Just wanna like see what could possibly be the issue here. I don't see that as like a common troubleshooting error on Google, so. And it's not applying the texture when it's not selected. So.
I mean, it kind of is, it is right now, but it's right now extremely dark.
Yeah, that's really weird. Do you have lighting on?
I had some lights in there, but I had to remove them. But right now, yeah, there's no texture.
Okay, so then we're on, keep that selected for a second. And then, let's see.
Do you think that might be because of a missed file? So I need to redo my file management with them?
Maybe, I'm kind of thinking there's definitely a linkage issue here. So maybe try, go ahead and get out of the UV editor, give yourself a little more space, and maybe that's got something to do with something. It's like trying to like register in a can, or I don't know. I think part of your issue though is definitely probably has something to do with the fact that your UVs aren't in the one-to-one space, because that can cause some issues. So yeah, let's go to just the hypershade hierarchy to look at that.
All right.
And then yeah, okay, so you have a lot of materials connected in here. You might have some overlapping and like conflicting with each other. So what are
let's just
all
get the kitchen done. So I have the kitchen.
well, what are all of those applied to? They're not, there's only one applied to the kitchen, right?
Yes, so I have this for the kitchen and nothing else touches it. Then I have the little projector. I have the container. I have this, so this one is for the sink. This one's the kitchen faucet, but I'm gonna apply the exact same texture to the sink as well. That's the holder, stove knobs, and then that's the actual stove base, and then the knobs itself. So all of these only have one. This should only affect the kitchen itself.
Yeah, okay, cool. So we've got a normal map, a bump map. And
Trying to, you know what, I don't need this right now.
okay, so there's a normal map, bump map, norm. Wait, is that two maps? Now you have that's your color, right, at the top.
Yeah, wait, that actually just, now that works. Now I can select this.
What did you do?
Okay, I did absolutely nothing. I think I just selected this and then put on here. But now my textures of this, of like the stove top and the actual container and all that, those are not there. So
okay, so yeah, you'll need to reapply those, I guess. That's really weird. It feels like all the lights were disabled or something. I guess you said you took them out of the scene, so.
I did take them out of the scene because they were in there, and I, regardless of what settings I had them on, there was no light being emitted. So I decided to remove them and then just use the viewport light for now, and then do lights after I get everything in there.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. It might be helpful just to work with like a simple spotlight overhead, just so you can see what you're doing
Okay.
a little bit better. And then
So do you recommend that I create a light in here then? Or should I
in
create one here?
it doesn't I mean, okay, so as far as the hierarchy goes, I prefer to keep my my tabs separate. So like if I would
Okay.
create a lighting system, I would create a new tab and then do that. So it's really like a matter of preference, but I
Okay.
like to keep like my materials in one tab and lights in another if you want to do that.
And then, okay, so there, now we have a light.
Cool. So that's
Okay.
kind of what I wanted to see was that like our color was actually the color that you had put in.
Yeah.
That's good. It's a lighting thing. Okay. Sweet. So you want to try doing maybe save just in case something weird happened in the last save, and then
Yeah.
try doing a an application to just a few faces again. What the heck? Oh my God. Okay, try scaling down that huge block and putting it right
Okay.
over the center of the UV. Refresh with the 7. And turn soft silicone.
So it's refreshing these.
Huh. Okay. Go to object mode. And then select it. Okay. If we can't figure this out, I'm gonna, would you mind sending me your project directory and then I can take a look with it like in Maya? And see
Yeah,
what's
I could
happening.
do that.
Yeah, because I'm not really.
There as just something that is I have noticed recently is, and I don't know if this could be an issue with it, but with as far as like the textures go, I put everything into the source images and then I put them into the 3D paint textures. But I don't know if this is a Maya thing, if this is an Apple thing, but can you see my Finder window right at the moment or no?
Oh, not Finder, no.
Okay. Let me go back and
At the top, I think it lets you switch which screen you're sharing.
yeah. All right, here we go. Okay.
Yeah.
So project directory, it's in my extended. I have that organized. This is a project. I go to scenes, 3D textures. So some of these I have an account with something else with a outside source where I get some of the textures, and they're named and organized in here. But if I use, let's say, this one is part of the projector, and this is part of like the holder. it then relocates them into a new file that it creates to this, and it's the UV
So
thing.
I've never
I
used the
don't know.
paint textures folder before.
Okay.
But I have a feeling Maya might interpret files in that folder as something different. And what we're using
Okay.
isn't 3D paint textures.
Okay.
We're using 2D textures at this point. So Maya might be getting confused and like trying to interpret it as 3D, even though you're using 2D nodes. I don't know. I haven't
Okay.
used the 3D paint textures folder, but I would try taking all of your textures out of those folders and then putting them into your main folder here, not in the 3D paint textures.
Okay.
And then try relinking them.
Yeah, I think that I can try that. I don't know if that would fix that weird color issue that we have, but it could possibly help fix at least why I have these.
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, I think that would be a good first step, is just like moving them into a different category here. And then, yeah, they'll definitely, well, sometimes Maya's
I'll
really
need
good
to-
about relinking stuff and finding it if you just like find one, but you'll probably have to relink most of them.
All right. Okay, so hold on, let me close that. Okay, so it's only if I have the UV, it's only if I have UV editor open.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's why I was thinking you might need to like rescale everything and put it over that. Like it
Okay.
was like mad because it wasn't scaled properly. I don't know.
Okay, I'll try doing the rescaling and like relaying out all these UVs based off of faces. And I'll give that a try with this.
Cool.
I think that was pretty much my main concern, because I spent a lot of time trying to get these laid out. I didn't know if there was an easier way or a better way, or more efficient way for me to do this, but I think grabbing the faces and then selecting that as an actual UV layout, because I thought I had to do only an object.
No, you can totally do faces. That gives you so much more flexibility. So yeah, I would definitely recommend doing it that way.
Okay.
But I don't know, maybe something about the way you originally laid it out is confusing Maya with that, thinking that you're still trying to do one whole UV. So
Okay.
that's why I was like, delete the whole thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It was still.
Let's see. Let's just try it. Let's just see if I can do or go to UVs. I mean, that seems to work just fine.
Yeah, it does. So let's try applying a different file you haven't used yet. Just
Okay.
like a random texture you have in there.
Okay, so I did camera base, and it still gave me this, but maybe if I close that. I mean, that kind of worked actually, in terms of like, it's there.
Yeah.
But when I go to UV mode,
It's really annoying that it would show up that way when you're trying to like line it up. But at least you know it's not like a permanent thing.
yeah, and that is, I mean, maybe you could probably figure more out. You know more about what to look up for that than I do.
Well, I think, do you have a camera in the scene?
I do have one camera in the scene, yes.
And it's right there. Okay. I was thinking like maybe it's part of the camera-based texture layout has to do with like where the camera actually is. And so it's like showing you what it's seeing and what it's seeing is all distorted, But that,
I,
I don't know how it get to that color, it's pretty crazy. So
yeah, so
if
if I
you,
just do, if I just highlight these two, and if I do the UV toolkit, this is just to see what I can get. But if I cut that and then unfold,
oh, there's some non-manifold. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you do wanna that.
I think it had something to do with
Oh, you know what I just realized?
what?
You have triangles, which doesn't play well when you're working with quadratics. So you either
Okay.
want to have only triangles or only squares and rectangles in a scene. So you see on the sides there,
Like I have
how,
this and this.
yeah. So that one's fine. Those are like, I mean, it would make more sense to just have it as a panel, I think. But if you wanted to have that as like a, different
I can,
section.
yeah, I originally had these part of a different, because I had a ceiling and I had it coming down, and the professor told me that I would be better off just extending this up as far as I could. So I can delete these edges.
Yeah, that would be good. And then just extrude up to make another one that matches it. Because you
Yeah.
don't want any triangles in here.
Okay, so take those, delete that. Let me make sure I'm grabbing the right one. Do I have two there? No, I have one there. Okay, and I think I can probably delete this too, right?
Yeah, you don't
Or,
want that.
okay,
Well, check on the other side and see what it's connected to though.
because I previously had that connected to the face, because the face would come down like this.
Yeah, okay.
It previously looked like, yeah, that's how it looked like before.
Oh.
Because I beveled this and it created this point right here.
Let's see if you can just extrude, if you can delete those and then extrude up to cover that space because, well, it
Okay,
all depends,
so,
I guess, on where your line is, but
okay, so still delete these.
yeah.
And then zoom into this thing.
Yeah, you don't want that. Actually, it probably look better if you just if you get rid of that and then you just have your like if you don't have your next plane coming up around that edge, you just have it
Okay,
coming up straight. That would create better geometry and it'd probably look better.
okay. Edge. Okay, so then it might create a gap here though.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Let's see. You could create another shape from that. So go ahead and extrude up the first wall and then I think you can probably just take those other edges at the end and extrude up their own shape. I think it's less of an issue with that side. But if you do it like individually, then run into less issues.
Or should I do this and then do an extrude, but then have this snap?
That would almost work, except at the bottom, then you've got non-manifold geometry on the other side. You can't see it
Oh,
over here,
like down
but
here.
yeah, on the other side, it overlaps like that, yeah.
Okay, so then,
So that shape is
okay.
like causing some problems. So I would do, I think the best thing to do actually in this case would be to take each of those little sections at the bottom,
Mhm.
and then if you were to like extrude them off to the side, well, that doesn't really fit.
Actually, I have an idea, potentially. Go back to this and try beveling this edge.
Okay, yeah.
And then actually include that in the bevel. But no, because then it would try and re-bevel those, and I don't want that. I don't want that to be beveled. So if I try to re-bevel this,
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, just create it and then rebevel it. I like that. Do you remember the settings you used? I guess it's pretty easy to tell.
I do not off the top of my head.
It's probably that what you have set here.
I don't think so. I think it's 0.05. And non-manifold vertex cannot bevel. It cannot
Is
bevel that.
is this is the one that was already beveled, right?
Yeah, so I already bet. Well, no, I tried just doing this and then these down here, like these
Yeah.
lines.
But this
And that,
part of, so like, I think you undid? How do you say that? You went back to your original wall, right?
yes.
So yeah, you would want to rebevel after you've created the new wall, because that shape already fits, right? So
Yeah.
you do
So
want to
just
get
do
rid of
this
that
one.
wall and extrude it out. And then once you've done that, you can just delete on it. Yeah, so now
Okay.
go ahead and extrude from the line, and then you can I guess you could extrude it outwards after the fact, and then up.
Like, so yeah, do the whole thing, right?
Yeah. Well, not the bevel sides, no. Yeah.
I mean,
Wait, you wanted to extrude a plane up, right? Not off to the sides.
yeah. I mean, that kind of looks like it's working. But
No, that's, oh wait, yeah, you can just delete that. Yeah, you don't want to have that on there. Those triangle faces.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't want those.
Whoopsies. I don't know why that.
Try selecting the faces. I would,
There we
yeah,
go.
okay, cool. Like, really worried you're gonna delete something that you didn't mean to. And that, gotta be
Yeah.
careful with that. It's really easy to do when you select like that. So I don't know if you like the style of this. It's a little different than what you had before, but what I
It's different,
meant,
but it kind of,
yeah.
because I had the idea for the camera angles. I had the one that was similar to like this. And I wanted to get one of it from close up here, and then potentially over here on this side from a different angle. So it wouldn't show out here too often or too much. So might be able to get away with that as opposed to like, or in terms of what the camera would show.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if the goal is to just have kind of a panel out to the side to create some closure, and you're not really
Yeah.
worried about having an actual panel, like if you don't need that last area, I wish I could like draw
Yeah.
on this thing and show you, but if you don't need that last side to come up, then that does kind of solve your problem. But if you do want it to be like that, because you have to probably do this for the other side too, right?
Yeah.
So if you wanted to just keep your panels up on the sides and keep it enclosed, I would recommend extruding upwards, and then just like you have the other panels that same height, and then extending it outwards, like extrude from that, extrude to the side. So you have two panels, right? One's like your main panel, and then there's a little tiny skinny panel off to the side, and then you extrude that on the edge at the bottom to match the panel on the other side. Does that make sense?
Kind of. So I do this to match that.
Right. And then you would grab those edges down there. See, I'm not sure how they're actually going to extrude up, though, is the thing. Well, actually, yeah, all you need to do is like extend that edge on the side on the left, the side closer to us. So like, go ahead and grab that edge on the left of that panel that you just made.
It's, oh,
Oh,
no,
Hidden
that
it.
was a nope.
It looks like you have all your edges selected right now. Okay, so just select the edge.
Those ones, right?
No, because those aren't going to extrude in the direction you want. So you want the side edge,
This one, right?
the one next to it.
That
Yeah,
one?
that one. Yeah. So
Okay.
extrude that out to the side and align it with the one to meet up with it. And then from there, you can go ahead and bevel the bottom again. Wait, what did it just do? Okay.
It's trying to fold itself. There we go. Hold up. That does not look right.
Wait a
Is that?
second. Did you extrude and bevel at the same time?
No, I just extruded it.
Oh, I was
I'm gonna go
confused
to
because
face.
I saw the bevel command come up, and I saw a non-manifold alert. So
Now, I'm not trying to bevel it at all.
okay, I don't know why that command came. Sorry.
There we go. Okay, so I have that.
Okay, and then you can go. You see how it'll be coming out on the side.
Yeah,
So
over
giving us
here.
that weird shape again, right? So now you have to bevel that, and you might want to extrude a little bit more. But yeah, you'll want to bevel that to match the other side.
I really hate how it goes naturally up there and there's no insert key on my computer.
Wait, how it what?
There's no insert key on my computer, so I can't move this down.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, MacBooks, gotta love them. I think you can remap your shortcuts though. So you don't need to have it out that far, just enough to like match it, you know? It's just that there was a gap before, that's all. That's the only reason I said that. It was a small gap, but it's, yeah, still there. Yeah, get real close, make sure it doesn't overlap, just like line it up as perfect as possible.
I hate this part of the edge work because it's like it's not easy to actually see.
It's
There
do
we go.
you use side mode a lot or front view?
I have not in a while.
I highly recommend doing that.
That's-
It's a lifesaver. Just hit the space bar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
that-
go.
I don't know if that's gonna really help you though. Well, it would. You can see what you're doing from there.
Okay,
But
that's top.
I think side view might be more helpful. Okay, so yeah, it's just a little
I
too
think I'm
far
gonna
out.
do. I'm gonna just delete those ones and then retry this.
Why does your screen get white like that?
Like how
Yeah, like that.
I
Oh, maybe.
don't. Yeah, I don't know how, or I don't know what you're saying because to me it doesn't seem like it's getting white.
Okay, cool. So that's just a Zoom thing, probably then refreshing. Okay. And just move it a little bit back.
There we go.
Perfect. Yeah, okay, cool. And now you should be able to select those edges to bevel them.
Should I merge them first?
Should you what?
Should I merge them first?
And invert them? Are the normal
Merge.
spacing out? Oh, merge. Oh, uh, eh. No, I think you should wait to merge them because you need to still have all the other pieces to merge, if that makes sense. They're not gonna like merge properly because you still have areas to delete.
Non-manifold. Okay. Still can't
What's
do
not-
that.
What's not manifold about?
Probably because of this.
I guess so. Well, I guess you could just add subdivisions.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like it's going to be seen really. So I probably could just delete these spaces.
Yeah, I guess that's true. So
And then
yeah,
just extrude these out.
yeah. Typically you want to be careful with geometry like that. Like a bevel on the inside of an object is hard to do because it's hard to get it's hard to get like all the right shapes. So like you can't have any triangles and you can't have any lines that don't like all come up to meet each other in like a rectangle sort of shape. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But,
Because of that thing.
oh yeah, I think you extruded the weird triangle shape that we don't want. Oh, and also you have a line, yeah.
Oh, great. It's not letting me get rid of that.
Of this?
Nope.
What try rotating around and hitting the 6 or 7 key. Just want to make sure that's not hidden. No, yeah, that's straight up. Ooh, that's weird. Yeah, select select that and hit delete again. Cannot bevel. Why does it think you want to bevel right now?
I have no
That
idea.
popping up. That's very strange.
And I've hit Q, and I'm not on any other menu.
Go to edge mode. Select that. Delete again.
Same thing.
Maybe try the delete command in the menu. Why would you have a line there? Can you just undo and go back to change the whole thing to where you have the panel there?
Thank you for Command Z.
Yeah. Fortunately, it's a lot more command Z's than I was looking.
Not object.
Face mode. Probably delete that. Okay, so there's an issue with your geometry here because that line at the top, there's like an extra line that should not be there. Okay, that's not right. Yeah.
Well, the good news is that the one thing I did extrude today, the one piece I did make is looking perfect.
Yeah, that's really good. I'm happy to hear
Although
that. It's like
that is great, but like it is too big. But let's just see.
it automatically set in the UV space where it needed to, I guess. So use that as a reference for your other pieces.
Yeah. Okay. So I just noticed this. I zoom in, and it actually looks like it has the same thing.
Wait, what does?
So if I zoom in, it actually still has the color, like the texture on it, but for some reason it's showing that highlighted portion.
The streak in it?
Yeah, so you can see the pinkish streak, right?
Yeah.
Can you also see that there's still that tile in there?
Vaguely. I do, yeah.
Yeah, it's very, Zoom doesn't pick
okay.
it up very well.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I think here you can see it the best because you can see the lines in it.
I feel like
So it's
there's
still
some
registering that it's there.
I feel like there's some weird mode on that I don't know about that I've never used. But okay, so for the edge thing, we definitely want to get rid of that. Try and go into vertex mode and deleting from each individual vertex.
Okay. Well, that's fantastic. I have one vertex that won't go away.
Okay. Then
I mean, it shouldn't do much if I just like leave.
that would be fine, but like you would have to recreate that wall and like delete the wall again, and you'd still have, the thing is, I think this issue has been here where there was like an extra line, so it's something you need to get rid of. So try going to that vertex again and get real close so you can select both that vertex and then the one next to it. And then go to edit mesh merge. And then now it's just one.
It is one. Now it's slightly bent.
And then from there you can realign it because actually
Yeah,
I think
with,
you should just change the distance threshold.
I should have fixed it.
Cool.
That's one
Yeah,
around it. Okay. Then I just noticed that I have these ones. I don't need these, but they're not doing anything bad. Should I just try and get rid of them or no?
So you definitely want to get rid of that one in the center that's non-manifold. And when you have like all these extra vertices that you don't really know what they're doing, that's going to cause problems.
Okay.
So that one's, what's it connected to? Why is it doing that?
These are part of this beveled edge.
Do you know why there's a center one? Like one that's not connected to any line? Because it's not that way.
No idea. No, there's
Okay,
nothing connected to that one.
I'll zoom into it, select that one, and then select one next to it. And then you'll do the merge thing again. But this time, try and change the, actually, before you do that, try and hit the, just select that one and then try and just use specifically the delete edge vertex command. The one, so back where you were before in edit mesh, that's where it was. In the middle there.
It deleted,
Okay,
it deleted this one, but not that one. So
undo that. Just hit undo a couple times. Yeah. Okay.
so I
So then,
select
yeah,
this
we
and
do
it
want
deleted that.
That's so weird. Maya, I don't understand you. Okay. So just hit, we'll go ahead and merge those. So select one of the ones next to it. I'm just wondering if it would like work if we specified that we want to delete a vertex. Did it create
Okay, so
a
I
new one?
deleted it. It did create a new one.
Okay, well, undo that. We don't want two more. Is there something connected to this that we don't see?
Not
Hit
that I'm aware
the
of.
go into wireframe mode and zoom out a bit. And then zoom back in. Okay. There's something about the way that this was created where it thinks it's gonna break if it doesn't have the center. So
Which is weird because the way how I created this thing was I used a cube and I deleted the two faces here and I extruded downwards to create this. And I reversed the normals for the inside. And then I beveled these. And that's all I did.
okay.
And then I also beveled these as well. But
can you display your normals? I want to make sure they're all facing in the same direction.
yeah. Mesh display. Where is it?
I think it's, are you on the display menu?
Yeah, or mesh display.
Oh.
Or actually, no, should I just go into the displays up here?
Yeah, just go to display. I think it's in that.
Well, I think I can figure out how to do the
It's
UV
display
textures again,
polygons.
but these are weird.
Do display polygons face models? That's a
Display.
face normals, yeah. Or no, vertex normals actually.
Display
Vertex
polygons.
normals. Where are your normals?
I put on vertex normals.
Yeah, usually,
Okay.
so when you do that, ooh,
So these ones are facing outside.
yeah, that's gonna cause some problems. There you go. Okay, we'll select all of those and then flip those. Yeah, that's a good thing to keep in mind. And then now try and delete. Just that center. You just delete the center one.
It doesn't even look like the ones on the edges don't even have a normal, nor does this one right here. Not
there's
all of these have
something wrong.
normals.
Well, you might want to select your whole object and inspect the whole thing for normals, because that if that's an issue in a lot of places, then that could be the root of your problem.
Okay.
Vertex.
Face normals or vertex normal. Oh, we were just doing vertex normals.
Yeah, do vertex or not, either way, but I'm still not sure why we're not seeing this. Well, zoom in a bit. I'm confused as to why those aren't showing up.
They are, but they're really small,
Oh,
normal
okay.
size.
Okay, yeah, that's nice. That I like that. But
Oh,
they
that's too
are
much.
kind of all over the place.
They're still pointing inwards.
Yeah. But my concern is that there's like vertex, it looks like there's vertices in the middle of your mesh, in the middle of your faces.
Well, I have this displaying face normals as well.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay, cool. All right. I was
Yeah,
concerned.
yeah. So I have face normals and the vertex normals on.
Okay.
Okay, but
So,
then how do I turn off these face ones?
oh, you did.
Did I turn off
Yeah, they're-
face ones? Okay,
they're
yeah.
showing.
Okay.
Take a quick look around the outside of your mesh and make sure there's not anything on the outside, because that's what we really want to focus on.
Okay, well, that face I can get rid of.
Yeah, that looks like a porcupine. I don't know.
Yeah, this is gonna be a sink. I'm just gonna do a flat projection of this going
Cool.
straight down.
Great.
So I understand that this is gonna be weird, but I only need
Yeah.
a flat projection going straight down for that one.
Cool. Yeah, I'm sure that's
Um,
fine.
As far
Yeah,
as
check on
these, yeah, when I
Yeah.
beveled that,
I would flip all those so you have all the same facing normals.
thing is that
So yeah, the ones that weren't showing up after we flipped them, they must have been showing the right way the first time. And then when we flip them back out. So you'll probably have to like select all the ones that are wrong individually.
So I just did that. I think it's selected face.
Oh.
So I have, okay, so if I select, hold up, do I see? Okay, so if I select this one, reverse.
You're in face mode though.
No, I'm in vertex mode.
Oh, it had a face selected. There we go.
Yeah, I think that there's, okay, I think what's happening here is I need to merge.
Yeah, I see too many normals for one vertex. So one thing you can do is actually check and see exactly how many duplicate vertices you have in a scene and then merge all of those. It's really nice. You can do them then just a couple commands. So that is going to be a huge issue if you have a lot of duplicates. I'm gonna look up that command because I don't remember exactly what I've been using, but I think you can just select all of the vertices in your scene and then see. I'll like show you.
What I might end up doing is I might try and create another cube and then try recreating the shell like next to this.
Yeah, I think
Just
that might.
because this is giving such a headache here, but I don't understand how that's. Do you think that this would be affecting the viewport or the UV editor issue? Because I haven't had this come up until today, actually.
I would expect it to impact the UV editor. I would expect it to impact a lot of things.
Okay.
That's something that like is the root of most problems. If you have normals that are facing in opposite directions, and if you have non-manifold geometry, that doesn't play nicely with like most operations. So you would definitely want to make sure that you have your bases covered with that, because then you're going to end up having a bigger headache. So I think this structure that you have here would be simple enough to do again really pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But just make sure that you're not overlapping anything, and try to avoid beveling in directions that aren't able to be extruded upwards, because you don't want any triangles or shapes that don't combine. You don't want to make weird shapes that aren't like, you don't want any 5-sided polygons or anything.
Yeah.
Because those can't meet up with each other.
Edge. I just realized based off the way how I grabbed this probably is not going to work well. I mean, it looks cool, but it's not how I wanted it to go.
No, it's not gonna work. Let's see, I'm gonna try and figure out what that command was.
Okay, so I just did an extrude for this. So I created a cube, deleted the other sides, created this one, extruded this, that was totally fine. And now when I grab the edge of this one and this one, I extrude.
Oh, because you can't extrude. Yeah, you don't want to do that. You see black, go
Okay.
back. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't extrude out in the mine's getting confused. Well, with like where you're trying to extrude. So you want to go one direction at a time, basically.
Yeah, so I did, so this one, this edge,
Yeah.
all right, bring that out there. Deselect everything. You select this edge, extrude. Sorry, whoops.
Uh-huh.
And I could do it.
It looks like flipped normals.
Yeah, so the thing is, this one didn't flip, but this one did. So if I go here to, okay, so that's,
Well,
so far that's pretty similar to what I had before.
yeah. So there must have been some setting on, I don't really know why it would default to flip like that, but the fact that you've changed it at the beginning so that it's facing the right direction should mean that like what you build off from there is facing the same way. But I really am not sure why it would just randomly flip like that. That's
Or I just saw something that had normal settings. Say normal size. Okay. That's all good.
cool. Well, good.
Edge. Don't need those. Actually, I don't want to extrude. I want to. Bring that
And
up.
then, yeah, while you're working, it's always a good idea to check for non-planar faces too. So you can display those in the same menu that you display normals in. Those will show you non-manifold. Just
Okay, how about this right here?
oh wait, that's kind of hard to see. It looks like it's facing
Because those are
outwards.
saying there's normals facing from here to here.
Yeah, that's the direction it's going. So like, that makes sense that it would be because
Okay.
that edge did outwards, right?
Yeah, I extruded this edge out and this one out.
So those are fine.
Okay.
I just don't want them facing like in the opposite direction when they could be. So like it would be a problem if like one of your faces was facing down and the other one was up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay,
yeah.
so I have this right now. This is pretty basic to what I had here. Obviously, my proportion's not there, but I can resize that.
Yeah. And then if you do want to bevel,
but now that normal's there, but this one's not. Is that
you can go underneath and see if it's showing somewhere else. It's still there. It's just hiding for some reason. But it's still facing the same way. It's just showing up on the underneath. I don't know why. I
okay?
don't think that would be an issue, but that does raise some questions.
Okay,
But
so bevel.
a cleaner start, and then if you just extrude your sides up from here, then you can go in and bevel after the fact. But just be careful when you're doing it to make sure that like you're not creating any illegal geometry. And
Yeah.
I think the safest bet would be to just bevel the outside, and then the inside might be more of an issue because of the way that that geometry comes up. So you can try it, but if it's creating any triangles or weird shapes, then yeah, don't do that. But yeah, that looked good the way you had it.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna need to merge these vertices, right?
You might, but oh yeah, I was gonna look for you what command that was. It doesn't hurt to try to merge them if you need to, but sometimes they'll just like connect. Yeah, you want to make sure you don't have duplicates though.
Okay, that's
Oh no. What? Wait, what just happened? I was off screen for a sec. What did you try to do? Oh, so there is an issue here still. Or what did you grab just now?
I grabbed the faces and I tried to pull them out.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to do that with all those faces. Because I think you have the back one too, right? Try just doing a couple at a time. What are you trying to accomplish here right now?
I was trying to grab all of these and slide this out. I think I should just delete that. And then,
Yeah, extrude it first or extend it first. Because when you did that, I think you were trying to push
there we go.
your other side, like after the bend. I think you were trying to push that forward where it wasn't meant to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Sweet.
Okay, so I have that one, and then let's try edges. I don't need to bevel these sides. That would just create complications. Don't need to bevel those.
Do the outside ones though.
Yeah, so, oh, actually that corner. That's fantastic.
What happened?
I don't know how that got created, but there's now two faces here.
What the heck? Now it's deleted. It was two edges. These look like
Yeah, and there's two here as well.
okay.
I have,
Maybe
feels like I'm back
reset,
to square one.
maybe reset your preferences. Maybe there's some preference in there that you have that's causing this, because that's not, no, not workspace. That doesn't make a difference. But
Okay,
in
can you go back to reset the preferences?
edit, oh wait, no, it's window. Sorry, I keep mixing that up with Adobe. So window. Wait, no, not that one. The window pull down. And settings preferences. And yeah, preferences. And then I think it's at the bottom, I want to say. Maybe not. Da-da-da. There is a button in here somewhere that resets your preferences. Let me look at my.
Just file references and project references, but
No, it's like a full preference reset. So under save actions, go to preferences and settings, save all preferences and settings with Maya exits. And then
what do you
just
see that? The save actions?
save actions, yeah.
Where's the,
At the bottom of that,
oh yeah,
reset. And then uncheck save all preferences and settings. And so then when you reset Maya, when you reload Maya the next time, your settings will be, it should be reset.
okay. I think I'm gonna try and restart this. I'll remake the cube, and then I'll see about relaying out. Actually, first I'll try and relay out the UVs in this, see if that can fix anything. And if I still can't fix the UVs, I'll go with this then.
Okay. Yeah, just yeah, use those like display tools to help you like get an idea of what's messed up and what isn't. So it's important to keep an eye on that the whole time because that's going to be causing a lot of problems if not. But there are bulk commands for things like that. Like I know there's a merge duplicate vertices command out there somewhere. Look that up, find that. And then that'll solve a lot of problems. And then also just yeah, keep an eye on your normals. They're being weird. But yeah, if you end up still having problems with this, I'll send you a link to Dropbox where you can just like drop your project directory in there, zip it up, drop it in, and then I can take a look on my own computer because it's a lot easier to troubleshoot if I'm like able
if
to play
you can
around.
do it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right.
but I'm sorry I couldn't help you solve that problem. There's a lot of weird stuff going on here.
There is really. This was one of the big things because I'm just gonna do a save as, that way we have. So shoot 5. There we go. And then just for funds, because I know I haven't, I'm just picking a random one. I just want to see if the viewport, if that viewport still does that thing.
Mm-hmm. Curious as well.
So this is something that I had on, this is an older one. I haven't done a lot on this one. But okay. So I'll get to work on this a little bit, but it'll be kind of a headache for this.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry it's not playing out very nicely for you. It's really frustrating.
Well, it's not your fault, and it's definitely weird that, so I have this, like at least size wise, like I have this the way how I want, but Professor has just said that I don't like, because these won't be seen, these ones don't necessarily matter, but I will rip off the UVs and try to see how it works doing it that way on this, relaying them out just based off the faces.
Cool.
And if that doesn't come out, then I'll try and redo this this box.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, and if you still are having issues, then yeah, just send me your project directory and like feel free to send me any questions you have in the meantime too, you can just like shoot me a text on Slack. I put my Slack up on the UTA discussion board, so you can
Okay.
just message through there. That's probably the quickest way to get my attention. So
Okay. I don't think I have the GIT Slack because I'm not a GIT student.
I don't think you have to. It's just my username,
Okay. All right.
but
And
I
then,
put my username up, so.
okay. I had one really quick question about these. This is something weird that I've noticed. Let me just.
Looks really well done.
This I spent a lot of time doing.
It looks really good.
I probably spent about 20 plus hours on just this.
I bet, yeah, it's really good, especially those textures. Those are phenomenal. Bump maps too, I can see it.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time on this one. I hope that the final result can do this justice, but this is without the lights in it, but I really tried to make sure that that comes through, that shine.
Mhm.
But the one thing I think is bizarre is if I try to rotate this, they both don't rotate in the same direction.
Are they mirrored?
Yes.
That's why.
Is that probably why? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Is there
you
anything
can
I can do
separate
about
them.
that or no?
You
Okay,
can
so separate again.
both and go to delete by type history. That should separate them into separate objects.
Okay, edit delete by type history, done.
And then try rotating them separately because they're still like facing different directions. So like the
Yeah, if I
axis.
rotate them separately, it does the same thing.
Wait, what was it doing then? I thought that looked pretty good.
Yeah, so if I rotate them separately and I go in the same direction, so if I go counterclockwise, this moves counterclockwise. I grab the top one counterclockwise, that goes counterclockwise. But if I select them both and I go counter, they go opposite.
Yeah, that's probably because they're on two different axes. They're on rotation works in a weird way. There's also different types of world orientation. So if you go to the attribute editor for each individual object, you can check and see how they're oriented. It's either according to the world or according to the object. So go to the attribute editor, yeah, and then I think it's under. There should be an orientation. Click one of the objects, not both.
That's the top. I think.
There's an area you can go to where you can change the orientation and the rotate order.
The rotate order that says XYZ for the bottom, and the top also says XYZ.
Okay, cool.
The rotate
So
axis is.
They're the same. That might actually get you the result you want though. If you change the rotate order, you can play around with that. Like when I animate something in Maya, I usually use YZX. So that can make an impact. It just changes the way that Maya is calculating. But that might not be your issue. I think you're probably wanting to look more at the orientation. So like you can change the orientation of how an object rotates and transforms so that it's according to the world axis or according to the object. And when you mirror something, I think the orientation automatically changes to object instead of world. So one is probably in world orientation, the other is probably an object. And I want to say it's in the attribute editor under, I thought it was under orientation. Just try like opening all those menus.
Node behavior? No. Display.
No, not that one.
Not display. Oh, pivots.
No, that's not the one.
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe because pivots is local versus world.
that's true. You can compare those values.
Okay, so
Looks
the
like they-
values aren't the same.
So yeah, they're both using world, looks like. Interesting. Well,
Really want to know the answer to that.
do you need them both to rotate using the same?
No,
Like-
I don't need them both to rotate the same, but if I wanted to rotate, let's say if I wanted to rotate this whole thing,
How the engine works. I mean.
then
Ah, I see.
So- so then I spend more time replacing everything.
Word in our family is called panoramic.
So
You can try
the-
going to these transforms.
free transform.
Yeah, so modify freeze transforms. That's a command that you use to reset where things are at.
Make it like your grandma made it for you.
Freeze transforms.
Yeah, go to the box.
Or you just see
Oh, my
mom.
mom, yeah, she just puts way too much seafood in it.
Yeah, go ahead and freeze those.
Don't pop her on her ass.
Wait, joint orientation.
No, you don't need that. That's for character animating.
Unless she
Okay.
asks.
Are you involved here?
So you hit the freeze transform button.
Ask a little bit, but not completely.
Are you involved?
Oh,
Maybe just do it for the.
See, Mary,
Oh, I think that's- I don't think Mary's the right person.
I do. I married her because of who she is.
okay. So I'll go back and do that again.
She's amazing.
Freeze transform. Now let's start.
Do you remember last night? I forgot to do
Yes,
this?
there we go.
Great. All right, cool.
Did you think?
Okay, that, yeah.
I wasn't involved.
All right.
And then
That-
you said you wanted a lot of light. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say that definitely did help a lot with that. And then previously I was having issues with light, but when I created the spotlight, that worked just fine.
Well, one thing you can do is actually, if you want a light to come through that,
Well, so that's the
you can actually turn an object
Okay.
into a light. So like that
You can turn
egg,
object into
Lisa
light.
is not busy.
yeah, you can make that. So like,
If I want this
that's how you do
to,
like.
to glow.
Okay.
So if I want this to glow a little bit,
Yeah, okay, cool. So you can turn that into a light.
okay.
How you do that is what I have to remember. But I know where I can find out.
Sorry, I apologize for having a lot of like little questions about this, but
I totally get it. I remember like taking this class, I had about 1 billion questions, and it's so frustrating being an online student because like you never get any of them answered.
oh yeah, I cannot imagine like doing this online where you can't ask questions in person and everything's a lot faster paced.
It's the worst. But there's this, oh, cool. I was just looking at this, I guess.
Can we get out of the way, right? Let me get out of here.
Yeah, it's an Arnold thing, I think. So you'd have to use the Arnold renderer for this,
Okay,
but I did that for my project. I used the Arnold renderer to create a sky dome. If you go to Arnold to create a mesh light, that's how you create a light that is an object. So
light. Mesh light.
yeah, I think you had the wrong thing selected though.
I had both of those selected.
Did you want those to light up too?
Mainly just those things. So let me just deselect and then
Maybe.
No, no.
Oh, just, you gotta make it piled up this big,
What just happened?
not much more than that.
there we go. I wanted to isolate this. That way I could only select that. Okay, so
Do you have a cutting board for
I want both of these Arnold lights. Mesh
I don't know,
light.
can you do that next one? Looks like you can. Okay, cool. And then from there you can adjust like things like intensity and exposure and I think you can adjust more than that too, but I think you have to add other nodes to it. And
It
then you
looks like I
to
might
check-
have to redo the colors and the textures for that.
check light visible. You want to do that? The light visible box down there. We got box.
Light.
It's up.
So it's like.
It's up.
Is it up here? Oh, show original mesh.
I'm like trying to point like you can see that.
Yeah.
There's like a little checkbox.
Oh shit, what do I do?
Okay, yes, go down. It's under color temperature.
Just color temperature, is that it?
The one below it.
Oh yeah, oh, light visible.
Yeah, check that. And then
Okay,
make
and
sure
then-
like so you can test it out. Cool. So it looks like it's glowing a little bit. And the texture stays on.
Yeah, so there was a thing on here that said to keep the same, like show original mesh.
Yeah. And then that one did not have light visible checked. So you want to check it on there too. You'll have to edit these separately, I think.
Okay, yeah, and now this one's not showing the same visibility as this one.
Yeah. Try refreshing.
I'm gonna go back and then try that again before I turn those on. Okay. So,
That one also looks like it has a bit of transparency applied to it from this angle anyway.
yes, so it does have a little bit of transparency. Would that affect
But-
it?
The top one doesn't though.
No, they both did.
Oh, okay, it's just the angle then that I'm looking at it. No, that shouldn't affect
Yeah.
it. I was just thinking that might be why you're seeing a difference if there's too much, but I think that should be fine. But yeah, try applying those settings differently. Maybe just do mesh light like one at a time.
Okay. Lights, mesh light.
And then check light visible and check keep original mesh. And then up intensity. There you go. Yeah, keep the intensity up. And
All the way?
yeah, I feel like I could see it better when it was all the way. But yeah, just play around with those settings. Yeah, see, you can see it.
Okay, and then where's the render? No,
Fatal error.
Maya's about to crash.
Well,
I think my computer's getting a little too hot. So
okay, we'll probably have to give your computer a break here. But
Yeah.
when you go back in and do that, just don't go to Arnold renderer. You can actually just go to render view, and then you can change the render engine from render view to Arnold to see it. So you don't have to go to
Okay.
Arnold render specifically. It's better. It's
Yeah.
gonna be easier on a computer if you just go to render view. But it looks like it didn't crash, so go ahead and save.
oh
while you can.
no, it did crash. I have the beach
Oh.
ball of death.
Oh, it didn't.
Yeah,
update.
Maya's not responding.
Dang. Okay. Well.
Okay. Well, I
So
did save the
these
other
tomatoes,
versions, and
Actually come through.
I do know how I can
So they actually.
rearrange those.
So they, well.
But I'll try with the UVs, and I'll try dealing with those lights a little bit better. I'll add a glow with Arnold,
But they
Um,
still have plenty.
and I'll add in the lights as well.
Right.
So I'll get working on that when my computer's not a toaster.
Sounds good. All right. Yeah, give her a break.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me know if you have any more issues or if you forget something. Just let me know.
All right. Yes. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate this time.
Absolutely happy to help. I hope it gets resolved quicker once Maya takes a break.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much again.
Of course.
All right.
Have a good one. Good luck.